This is a HeadGum podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Complete Guide to Everything, a podcast about everything. I'm one of your hosts, Tom.
And I'm Tim.
Tim, how are you doing this week?
Tom, I'm pumped.
Yeah? How come?
I got the fire inside me.
Whoa, all right.
I'm about to burst.
You eat a bad burrito or something?
Tom, every burrito I eat is a bad burrito. Because I put too much stuff in it.
Yeah, what kind of stuff?
I put rice. I put beans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
cheese,
so far these are
veggies,
all normal burrito things.
Sometimes
yeah,
guacamole.
if anything, you don't eat meat. You're putting probably less
I put a lot of beans. A lot of beans. Tom,
Yeah.
how you doing this week?
I'm doing good. I haven't had a lot of beans lately.
We're recording at a weird time of day for us.
Normally I'd be in church this time.
Sunday at 4 p.m.?
Yeah.
Okay.
Normally I'm backstage getting the priest ready.
I feel like when we normally record these days, I'm tired and in a bad mood. Today, I'm look at me.
Yeah, you're.
I'm glowing. I'm positively glowing.
You're hyper and in a good mood.
Yeah. So maybe we should switch the record days to Sunday.
Tim, I told you that's the day you really gloss over me saying that I go to church and help the priests get ready at 4 o'clock.
You get to help them get ready.
Yeah, for
put
the
them in
5
their
o'clock mass.
Frock?
Yeah, hell, they can't put that frock on by themselves.
Yeah,
Tim.
they're fully
they can.
nude under the frock.
I've seen on TV shows priests putting the frock on by themselves. Yeah. You ever see that show Midnight Mass on Netflix?
No, it seems too scary.
It's
not
pretty
past
scary.
My bedtime, Tom.
Tim, it's on demand. You can watch it anytime, but don't watch it after dark. It's pretty scary. But I'm just thinking like, oh yeah, I remember in that show seeing the priest put his own frock on. I guess it can be done.
Yeah, but that priest was like, I haven't seen the show.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's
he's
a vampire.
He's not necessarily what he seems at
He's
first.
a vampire, isn't he?
There are vampires involved.
Right.
I'll say that much.
That's okay. You can tell me.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't want to spoil it for the
I
audience.
actually
Okay.
don't really remember if he's like a vampire. He's just friends with the vampires or something.
Do you find that, like, as soon as you're done watching a TV show,
You
that
can't
you're
remember
so
anything
invested
happened.
in that, like, you don't remember or really care to remember anything about it either?
Yeah, I've had people recommend shows to me, and it's not till they've gotten all the way done with it, and I go, oh, that sounds pretty cool. I might have to check that out. That I'll go, wait a minute, what was the name of it again? Then they tell me, I go, I think I did watch all that. I think I watched all 12 episodes of that hour-long show, and I don't remember a single thing about it.
Tom, do you think life is meaningless?
I think they should put more nudity back in TV shows, then people would remember. They'd be like, oh, yeah, I remember that show. There had all that nudity in it.
You'd complain that it wasn't the right type of nudity. Yeah.
It's all just...
You're like, no, make it sick like the stuff that I find on the internet.
Yeah. Come on. I don't want to see the boys showering after a football game again. Put them, I don't know, something sexier, a nightclub maybe or something.
Yeah, it's all about the context of...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's nice.
But yeah, the TV shows, who needs them, right?
Yeah, I mean...
The Written Word, that's my TV show.
No, any kind of consumable media, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, who cares? This is all fake.
There are people like that don't like reading.
Guess what?
Fiction.
I'm becoming one of these guys.
the most boring type of person in the world.
No, somebody that just I can't get invested in things. Like when I sit down after a long day to watch the television and I'm scrolling through the streaming stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, all right, I'm gonna wind up either on Guy Fieri or a baseball game. That's me.
Because they're both real, at least.
I can at least feel something from a diners, drive-ins, and dives.
I don't know if I've...
A real human connection.
I don't know if I've really watched that show.
Tom.
Uh-huh.
It's fantastic.
Or at least I haven't watched it in a very long time.
Hey, watch an episode, but be sure, don't watch it hungry.
Yeah. Is it all just like real greasy, like stuff that's awful for you?
It's a lot of that.
Yeah.
But it's also just like it's all made like all restaurant food is that, right? Mm-hmm. I think Guy has really broadened his horizons. I think he like ran out of the greasy stuff,
spoons,
or like also like I think those have all been taken over by like
corporations,
or chains or whatever, and run out of business. So he does some like food from other cultures, and okay, yeah, it's nice. Went to a vegetarian
I just know
place one time.
I've watched a lot of stuff on the Food Network. Hey, this is appropriate because we're talking about a food item today.
Yeah.
But
so you sticklers, we're talking about the topic already.
No, not really, but
we're getting your
timer
there. Stop your tangent timer.
A lot of those shows that I've watched, I feel like they cover places where it's like, you're never going to believe this. They make a hamburger and the buns are cheese.
Right.
And stuff like that where it's so excessive that it's like, it's like a fun novelty or whatever. But is that actually what you want to eat? Or would you rather just eat like a really well-made hamburger?
Tom, you're a man in your 40s.
Yeah.
First of all, I would say that type of thinking and that show that you were watching, which I have no doubt is running on the Food Network in 2022, is probably produced in 2007. And I feel like that's when it really was like, hey, why a hamburger bun when you can have grilled cheese sandwiches on each side
and
of the...
deep fry the whole thing and then cover it in chocolate.
And also, you were in your mid-20s, and I think you'd like that more than just like, no, just a really...
just a well-made hamburger.
Yeah.
Just a well-made mini slider.
Not even with cheese on it, because the beef is so good.
Yeah.
So you can really appreciate the beef.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to appreciate the beef when I was 25, Tom.
A lot of people made that criticism of you at the time that you couldn't appreciate the beef.
I know. And guess what?
You learned. You live and learn, and now you appreciate the beef.
And at the time, look, I wasn't ready to appreciate the beef.
Yeah. I mean, you are a vegetarian now, so.
Yeah.
But you can still appreciate the beef.
I
don't
appreciate
eat
it so much that I'm just like, I can't even. I shouldn't even approach.
Hey, I appreciate beef so much, I say keep it alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to just admire it from afar.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to. Turn that. I appreciate it so much. I don't want to turn it into poop.
I'd like to instead of admiring it from afar, I'd like to admire it from a farm. And yeah, I wouldn't. I couldn't dare turn this into poop.
Yeah, it's a slap in the face to the beef.
Do you slap beef is pretty good though. If you've never had that. This place in Boston, they've got a guy in the back here. All he does is just slap the beef all day, and
see,
really
I got fired from my
tenderizes
last job for doing that.
Tim, that wasn't slapping the beef; it was spanking the monkey.
All right, we'll bleep that.
Bleep that. No, that's disgusting. This isn't that kind of show. Tim, this week we're talking about bread, and I'm not talking about dough. In money.
You are talking about dough.
Yeah. I guess we are talking about dough. You know what? Yeah, I guess we are going to talk. I was going to say no talk about dough, just bread, but it's unavoidable sometimes.
Yeah. When criminals talk about
cash.
Yeah. Do you think if we were criminals, guess what? This is the vernacular that we should adopt. We should call money dough once we've gotten it.
Yeah.
And then it's bread once we've laundered it and gotten it back because it's like fully cooked and ready to go.
Yeah.
Just so like it's like you got any dough on you? It's like, yeah. It's like, okay, well, we can't go.
We got to turn it into bread.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we got to put it in, just like if you took regular dough and you put it in the washing machine, or especially the dryer.
Yeah.
Probably kind of turn into bread. Probably not the kind of thing you'd like to eat. Probably be a little linty, no matter how good of a lint trap you got. But
Tom, it's not about having a lint trap. It's about cleaning the lint trap.
Yeah, but you can only get it so clean.
Have you ever cleaned a lint trap?
I've cleaned a lint. I kind of like cleaning the lint trap. I like the way the lint feels.
Yeah, me too. It's we have communal washers and dryers.
Okay, so you like smell it and stuff.
No, but it's just like you
do real sick stuff.
Clean the lint trap before you use it, before you turn on the dryer. And I'm like, okay, I'll do that. Guess what? When I'm done, I'll clean it afterwards too. Leave it nice for the next guy.
Yeah, I mean it should be clean it afterwards.
Yeah.
Clean your own lint.
Yeah.
Don't clean the last
I'm
guy's
not
lint.
worried about
Lint.
My wife found this is going to sound bad. I know the joke you're going to make here, but like we live in a big building and there's washers and dryers, and she was doing the laundry. She found a thong, another person's thong, and this is and she didn't even
Tim,
think.
You don't have to lie to me.
Exactly. See, that's the joke that you're going to make. But also, look. Also, it's a pandemic and we have a tiny baby. We haven't been out of each other's sight in years. But also, I was like, well, it's clean.
Mm-hmm.
And then she made the good point. No, it's dry.
Right.
So, because she was folding laundry, and she like yelped and threw it across the room like it was.
Were you like, it's clean? Let's keep it. Let's put it up on the wall.
Maybe if it's me.
Let's put it up on the wall. If we get any more, we can put them up on the wall too. That way, our son has something nice in the house.
What?
He has like your house is kind of like a seedy bar.
Oh, okay.
Where, there's thongs up on the wall.
I haven't been to a bar. Have you, one of these guys, have you been hanging out at Coyote Ugly Tom?
No, but I went to a bar in Key West that was their thing, that they had bras up on the ceiling. Who knows how many decades worth of bras. But I actually kind of appreciated that when you went in, it was like, oh, the majority of these bras are not sexy bras.
Right.
The majority of these bras are like, flesh colored and just look comfortable.
Right. Hey.
And,
a comfortable clientele. Were you like, oh, this is a comfortable clientele? Must be
but then,
comfy.
but let me tell
you.
you, if you say, well, let me make myself comfortable here, and you go to take one off the ceiling to maybe put it on your head, lighten the mood a little bit, then they get all up in arms about it.
It's not appreciated in Florida, Tom.
No. Tim, if we became criminals, I think we should come up with like our own vernacular for money.
That's what I said earlier.
No, but you're saying dough and bread, which exists.
Yeah, but it would be very specifically applied, you see.
I know, but I'm saying like we come up like we're like, yeah, man, check out all the leaves I've got.
Right.
And it'll be just like a bunch of cash. And you'll be
Right.
like, oh, yeah, I've never seen so many leaves. Yeah, we're thick with leaves.
So thick.
And then the cops wouldn't even know what the hell we're talking
Yeah.
about. They've got the place wired. They're in a van sitting outside. I don't understand what these boys are talking about. What are they, horticulturalists?
And they'll think we're horticulturalists.
Well, the cop, he doesn't know.
He doesn't know how to say that word.
Yeah, Tim, it's called a character. Get it right.
Tom, I was going to say, I haven't touched cash in probably 3 years, 4 years. Do you take cash out regularly?
You know
I
what?
never have cash.
I just took cash out because I got to get a haircut this week. I just took some leaves out because I got to get a haircut. But there's not a ATM nearby that is my bank. There's one not too far away, but far
Thanks
enough.
for clarifying, yeah.
Far enough that I don't go down there much. So I get it out at the supermarket. I'll do the debit and then cash back. But I
used to do cash back all the time. No, I haven't done. I forgot that cash back existed.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. But the thing is, I only get today I took out $40 and I was like, I kind of want a little more cash, but
You want some cash? I got some cash for the first time.
Oh,
week.
okay. Yeah, I'll take free cash. Some free leaves, sure.
You want to know why I got cash?
Why?
Tell me if this seems fair.
All right.
I go into a coffee shop for an afternoon.
You're not gonna try and find the woman whose thong you have and give her
Have you seen this
cash
thong?
for it.
Oh, I see. No,
I believe my wife has your underwear, so this makes us even.
the barista. I order.
Mm-hmm.
Can I have an iced coffee, please?
Yeah.
Large.
Mm-hmm.
This is a place where guess how much it costs?
Oh, to $20.
$5.50.
Okay.
Which is not insignificant, right?
Mm-hmm.
And okay, cool. They got the little
the
clover thing or whatever. What is that?
Square.
Yeah.
Yeah, the terminal that then they turn around to you.
I pressed my card. The tap. I tapped.
Uh-huh.
Didn't work. tapped. Hey, try again. It's like, I'm gonna insert it this time.
Yeah.
Let's see.
No,
Didn't work.
don't.
And she goes, oh, this is it's broken on our end.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, okay. She's like, I don't know if there's an ATM around here, but I'll just hold this till you come back.
Oh, wow. All right.
Yeah. And instead of just like going home, or just stopping at another of the 15 coffee shops in my neighborhood on the way back.
Yeah, but you would never go back to that place if you did that.
Why?
You would feel uncomfortable doing it.
Nah.
No?
I'd be like, nah, I came back for that. I'd gaslight her.
Yeah, you don't remember? I gave you a big tip too.
Yeah. So I went and got $60, Tom.
Wow.
And I wound up giving her all of it because I felt bad.
Well, I mean, it apparently wasn't either of your fault, so that was the right thing to do.
Bread.
Bread. Tim, how you feel about bread?
Might be my favorite food.
It's a pretty good food as far as foods go.
It's like it's killing us.
Uh-huh.
Like gluten is really bad for us, right?
Well,
but it's still
we'll
good.
talk about gluten.
Okay.
I
know that everybody's like, shut up. Like, everybody's, like overreacting about gluten. And that's true. I think a lot of people think they have, whatever. But I think it's really bad. It makes me feel bad. But I'm not going to stop eating bread. Drinking makes me feel bad. I haven't stopped drinking.
You know what? I was trying to figure out what gluten is once and for all.
Mm-hmm.
And I was reading something. What was this? It was something about like making a certain type of bread. And it's like, you have to knead it because then that helps turn the gluten into strands.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, it's like have you ever made bread?
No. Oh God! You've been waiting this whole episode just be like, have you ever made bread? Yeah, I make bread sometimes.
I make bread sometimes. I largely stopped.
I make bread sometimes too, Tim. And guess what? I call it leaves. That's what we call making
I mean,
money
you and
nowadays.
I do that with our crimes. We both make a lot of leaves, Tom.
Uh-huh.
So you put some flour.
Yeah.
You put some yeast.
Uh-huh.
You put some water.
And where's the gluten?
That's the thing, Tom. It's not there. It has to form.
Okay, so gluten-free.
So it's gluten-free when you start, and that's why I sell this bread as gluten-free.
It was gluten-free when I started.
Hey, you tell me.
Well, I'm supposed to keep track of whether gluten gets in there or not?
I didn't put any gluten in there. It must have happened on its own. No, but you see, when you mix it together, it's like, oh, this is like powders and water, right?
Uh-huh.
Then you leave it for a little bit.
Okay.
And then you knead it for a little bit.
And you knead it, so you make it because you're like, I really need this bread.
Yeah, no, I think you're it's a homophone, Tom.
I beg your pardon.
So you're kneading it, and then like at first, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's all soupy and like right.
Yeah,
it's just like wet flour, and then you leave it. And then it gets like stretchy and stuff. That's gluten, right?
Okay.
So it's like stringy. It's not like you pour a vial of gluten in.
So there's like a little elf or something that comes and puts it in when you're not looking.
Perhaps gnomes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why
Nobody
you gotta
really
leave it out for a minute.
Yeah.
Don't look at it because then they won't come.
If you look at it, it's never gonna rise.
It rises while you're cooking it.
No, it rises beforehand too.
Wow.
You gotta, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
It rises, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you don't make dough. You buy it all from the pizza place.
Exactly. So it's already turned into gluten and risen and all that.
Anyway, we've gone way too far. People are like, you guys keep talking about this bread. What
I don't
is
even
bread?
know what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what it is. I don't have that in my notes.
Okay, yeah, no.
It's
bread. You know what it is.
It's flour, which is grain all mashed up, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And then water and yeast. But some bread doesn't even have yeast in it.
Right.
You know what bread doesn't have yeast in it that I was surprised to learn this?
What?
Soda bread.
Right. Well, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like soda bread. You got like banana bread. Those are really breads.
Yeah, they got flour in them, don't they?
So do cupcakes.
Okay. I'd consider cupcakes like kind of bread.
Anything with flour in it is bread?
No, but anything that kind of looks like that, that's
Cake?
bread. Yeah, cake's a type of bread.
Cake is a type of bread?
Yeah, what? It's just a type of bread that's got a lot more sugar in it than usual. What else would you say it is? What like family of foods would you say it belongs to? It's not a
Cake.
vegetable. It's not a fruit. It's not meat. It's bread.
There's 4 things?
Yeah, the 4 food groups.
Okay.
Bread. Milk's in there too. The 5. Yeah, it doesn't have milk in it.
What if there's milk in the bread?
Then it's it belongs to 2 families.
What is flour on its own?
Grain.
Oh. Did you say grain before?
No,
So
I'm
there's
saying
6
it now.
Okay.
Yeah, there's 6 food groups.
Okay.
Grain, dairy, fruit, vegetables, meats, and bread.
Yeah.
Right? But bread is also grain.
Right.
Okay. So there are 5?
Well, then cake is grain?
Yeah, cake is grain.
Okay.
You need grain to make cake.
You do. You
Yeah.
also need sugar to make cake, and sugar comes from fruit.
Yeah, so it's a kind of fruit.
It's fruit cake.
Yeah, fruit cake.
Fruit
Look
bread is
fruit
cake.
bread.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get sugar from things that aren't fruit too, right? Like sugar cane.
Yeah.
That's a kind of grain,
Or-
presumably.
Beets.
Beets, yeah, a type of vegetable. Look at that. You could have vegetable bread, and it's really just cake. But, somebody hears, Tim over there, you see what he brought for lunch today? Vegetable bread. He's a
Well.
real health nut.
And the
Meanwhile,
Surgeon General will be like, actually, it's like, get out of here.
Meanwhile, you're over there eating funfetti cake, feeling like $1 million. That's the best type of cake, right? Funfetti.
Yeah, I think so.
Nah, that's a good cake.
Yeah. Only if it's properly.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Moist.
if anything's badly made, then it's
Yeah.
no good.
That's okay. Fair point.
Tim, let's talk about some types of bread. Well, let's talk about. I before we get to types of bread, I'd like to get this out of the way. Sliced bread they invented less than 100 years ago.
Yeah.
And people always say, it's the best invention since sliced bread.
Well,
Yeah. Then you
those
think,
people were probably think of like your grandfather saying that, right?
Yeah.
That'd be you being impressed by something and be like, that's the best invention since the iPhone changed all of our lives. You know?
right.
You
But would I put it that way? Since the iPhone changed all
you
of our
kind of
lives.
do that. You kind of speak as it like in terms of like, well, that was before
Well,
the iPhone
I'm a
came out.
historian, Tim.
You're an Apple boy.
An Apple boy.
You're an Apple boy. Everybody knows it.
How dare you?
Everybody says it behind your back.
Is
though.
that true?
Oh, there goes the Apple boy, Tommy Reynolds,
Yeah, it's because I'm always.
skipping off to the Apple store in
That's because I'm
Times
always
Square.
eating an apple as I'm walking down the street. And there's no Apple store in Times Square, you
Oh.
moron.
Only an Apple boy
Oh,
would know that.
Yeah, I guess I have just outed myself as an Apple boy. Why? Oh, yeah, sliced bread. This guy invented it. Otto Frederick Rodweeder. He invented July 7th, 1928.
He's got a good publicist because people have been slicing slices of bread forever.
Well, but here's what it is. People were slicing bread, but they weren't selling sliced bread.
Right.
He started the process of inventing sliced bread more than a decade earlier, but he lost. This sounds ridiculous, but he lost his prototype and blueprints in a factory fire in 1917. I mean, if it was just the idea of cutting bread, and he's like, "Oh, my blueprints and prototype are
Yeah.
gone."
What does the machine look like that cuts bread?
I think it's
Slices bread.
it's got
Just like a bunch of knives.
no, it's like wires,
Ah.
like it's that type of slicing thing.
Mm.
And I think
But
that's
you're gonna
all.
crush the bread. It's got to be super smart. Super
The-
smart.
the bread or the
super
wire?
sharp. The wire.
I think the wires are, very hard and
Hot?
thin. No, I don't think they're hot. They don't want to bake the bread more. But I think the bread has just come out of the oven when they do it. So it's probably a little more pliable.
That might be the worst time to do it, Tom.
Well, then they probably let it cool down. But I think it's just like very
you think,
sharp. Like
Tom, have you ever made your own bread?
I know, Tim.
You would think fresh out of the oven, you want to cut into that, but
Yeah, but it's probably a
no,
little
it needs
doughy
to
still.
set a little bit.
But
yeah.
I'm saying this thing is probably like a piano wire,
right.
like real tough and real thin that you could choke somebody with it.
Yeah,
if you really needed to. And he probably had a machine.
only if you really needed to.
He probably had a machine that the bread comes along and then all this wire goes down on it. Yeah. And that's what he lost the prototype and the blueprints for.
Right.
But thank God he found them. And they were sold.
Wait, so we're saying, so it was patented, yes, less than 100 years ago.
Yes.
What year?
No, it was invented in.
Do you know what year it is currently?
It was invented in 1928.
Okay.
He lost the prototype and blueprints, but those weren't completed.
Okay.
So basically that set him back.
It was just Otto's dream.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the factory fire set him back a little bit, but he'd been working on it for a while. And then his patents and machine were sold to a Missouri baker named Frank Bench.
Oh, come on.
Find a guy named Frank Bread, sell to him at least.
Frank Bench.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good all-American name. I can picture Frank Bench. Little stocky.
Yeah.
Kind of balding.
Are you just imagining a man sitting on a bench and that's why you say he's a little stocky?
No, he's actually, the way that I'm thinking, he's sitting on a chair, kind of like
like the thinker?
A little bit, but more casual, more like this, Tom.
Tim right now is doing the pose of the thinker if he was using both hands to hold his chin up.
But like not even deep in
I would say that
just
that's...
like, hey, I'm going to tell you what's going on here.
That's not more casual. If anything, that's more formal. He's using two hands.
Yeah, that I was just doing anything to not look like the thinker anymore.
And every time you did it, Tim, like your elbows weren't even on your knees. Like it did not look like a comfortable way to sit.
I'm thinking he's like the dad from the Wonder Years.
Okay.
You know, and he's always leaning in like this, like, hey, I'll tell you what the deal is.
Okay, that's who you think. Frank Bench, the guy who bought the invention of sliced bread.
He did that in like the 30s? It
doesn't say when he did it. Hopefully he didn't do it recently and, really got one pulled over on him because patents expire. 20 years? I don't know how long. I think it's different for every type of patent, right?
There might still be some
coming in. So be careful. Hey, if you're out there slicing your bread all willy-nilly, posting pictures of it on the internet and stuff, be careful.
Frank Bench.
You might,
might be litigious.
He might be coming after you.
He came after Arnold and Wonder Bread.
Yeah, he might show up on your doorstep one day saying, "Hey, I think you owe me some leaves." Tim, we're on break just now. We take a couple hour break in between segments. I was like, all right, what aspect of bread do you want to talk about next? And you pulled up your notes and you're like, yeah, I got a few things to talk about. You pulled up notes that I can't read what it says. I'm across the room, but it looks like there's about 3 words written down.
I don't like the way we're situated. You normally can't see my notes.
Is that how many notes you have going into these things?
Sometimes I have fewer than this. And guess what? I'm still on fire every time.
And then you get mad at me if I've got too many things to talk about.
This is why I generally don't prepare too many notes, because if I get I watched you prepare. By the way, we decided on a topic.
Yeah.
And then, you did, 3 minutes of research, I want to say. And then you have more notes than me. I was looking at Twitter for some of that 3 minutes.
All right. So what's your point?
My point is that, if I'm going to get steamrolled, if I have a ton of notes or a few notes... Why do the work?
I don't think you're going to get steamrolled if you have a ton of notes.
Also, I have a lot of knowledge because I don't know if you heard, I've made my own bread before.
Oh, okay. So that's what you're relying on, personal experience.
Yeah.
I like that you're trying to argue I didn't do much research. So the fact that you didn't do any.
No, here's the thing. Whatever research you did, I could probably replicate by pulling up a list of types of breads on the internet and just reading off that list. What do you have in your notes?
I have a list of types of breads I'd like to talk about. But I'm glad one of us does, Tim, or else we'd be sitting here between the two of us just going, the Wonder Bread, cakes. and we wouldn't even be able to
I
think
don't
of all
even
the
think
types of bread.
cake is
Because there were a
bread.
lot of types of bread when I was looking this up. I was like, wow, I wouldn't have even thought of that
I know,
type
Tom.
of bread.
I have a list of bread up somewhere.
Tim, I'm trying to think where to start with bread. You know, let's start with this baguettes.
Baguettes, you're going to. Maybe when this comes out, no, you will not be in France.
No, but I may have already lost my pants.
Right. Last time you were in France.
Pants?
Never mind. Tom,
Uh-huh.
when you're walking around France in the near future or the recent past, whenever you've been there, we're banking this early, Tom.
Yeah,
and
only a little early.
Yeah, but we should do this all the time.
Just bank episodes?
I just feel like every week we're doing this. And of course, we got to be up to the minute. We got to, know.
Yeah, a lot of people get their news from this show.
Yeah. But, like, knowing that we don't have to, like, immediately release this when we're done recording it, it's nice.
I
What
mean,
if we gave ourselves a week leeway?
Because we would immediately
take the next week off. Yeah.
We would just be like, well, now we got that buffer, and then we would just take it off, and we'd be right back where we started.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I mean, we could bank episodes, Tim, but you realize that then we have to record more episodes that time.
No, what I'm saying is like let's do
just
that
always
once.
be a week
like
ahead.
let's get at least a week ahead.
And what good would that do?
It's nice. It's less pressure.
You think the New York Times, you think they ever have meetings where they're like, maybe we should get a week ahead?
I'm sure they'd like to.
Yeah. Well, the news doesn't work that way, Tim. And neither does what we do.
Which is also the news.
Which is also a type of the news.
Yeah.
Tim, what if we did an episode about bread last week and we were sitting pretty thinking, great. Look at this. We're ahead of the game. Then it turns out bread committed some horrible crimes and then we can't put the episode out.
Bread has committed horrible crimes.
But bread hasn't been canceled yet. But what if next week bread gets canceled and then we're the idiots sitting there with the auto-generated episode just waiting to drop?
Right. I mean, the episode was not auto-generated. It's just been scheduled.
Yeah. Although I was, what was it? Some company the other day did put out when the Queen died, there was some tweet that went out, and I just saw it because somebody retweeted it with like, hey, just a reminder to check your scheduled tweets, everybody that works in PR, because it was something that like, it's like, Hellman's is the real queen of mayonnaise or something. I
mean, not an inaccurate statement.
No, I get shit from my girlfriend, Tim. This is bread related. Mayonnaise is bread related.
Mayonnaise is bread.
Oh, can you imagine?
Now we're getting into some hot water.
I don't know if you know this about me. There are two things. Well, you know two things about me with shopping. You know at least one thing about me with shopping. Food shopping.
Right.
I love gimmicks.
Yeah.
I'll buy whatever new bullshit some company tells me to.
They've sprayed barbecue flavor on something.
If they've
or
buffalo,
yeah,
then I'll buy it. And if they've made the bag bright and colorful, maybe more shiny, all right, I'll check it out.
Yeah,
I almost bought some soda candy earlier just because I had
soda candy.
Yeah, I just hadn't seen it before, so I was like, well, I like candy, I like soda, but sometimes it's like, it's too much of a good thing. I'd rather just sit down with a nice big bag of candy and a 2-liter bottle of soda and just have those separate.
Keep it pure.
Okay,
that's the first thing I know.
Okay,
You're susceptible
I buy,
to gimmicks.
I'm susceptible to gimmicks. But the other thing is, for the most part, I will buy just the store brand, the generic brand, the cheap shit.
Right.
You're
cheap.
Yeah. And
you're cheap, except when getting hoodwinked by gimmicks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's how
it all evens out.
I mean, that's how the marketers address customers like me,
right,
who will otherwise just buy the cheapest version of everything. But I'm one of those people that when I'm at the supermarket for a lot of stuff, I'm like, it's all the same shit. They're making the cereal in the same factory as Kellogg's or whatever. It's fine. But I am not that way with mayonnaise.
Yeah, you won't buy generic mayonnaise.
No, I'm a Hellman's man.
Yeah,
through and through.
And your girlfriend makes fun of you for that?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Well, she doesn't make fun of me. It's just one time she bought other mayonnaise, and I...
Was it name brand or was it generic?
No, I think it was just like the store brand or whatever.
And it was mayonnaise. It wasn't like Miracle Whip.
No,
right?
it wasn't
Okay.
Miracle Whip, but it was mayonnaise. And I had to pull her aside to talk to her and be like,
Did you try to return it?
no, it had already been, because I think I didn't even realize it. It wasn't until like I made a sandwich with it, and I was like, listen, next
I
time,
don't think this is working out.
next time you buy mayonnaise, you gotta get the good stuff. And it's not even the good stuff.
Did you press a couple leaves into her hand?
Yeah, I said, hey, maybe this will help remind you next time. But I'm like that with that. I'm like that with soda, of course. Like, I'm not going to buy a RC Cola or the store brand.
Right.
And then there's one other thing I'm like that with, but I can't remember what.
You know
it
what
is.
I'm like that?
I am like that now, actually, with butter lately too.
Really?
Yeah, I like the Kerrygold butter.
Oh, of course you do. You're an Irish citizen now.
Exactly. No, but like anything, I don't know. It's weird. There's something else too. I can't remember. But there are a few things, like Kerrygold butter is like pretty expensive, and I don't even use butter that often.
Okay.
But if something's like way better, then I have no problem paying like double the price.
Yeah, I think that's. I agree. Here, the thing that I won't cheap out and go generic on in the grocery store, not food,
Bread.
garbage bags.
Oh, yeah, that,
Buy the cheap garbage bags, you're gonna pay for it in the long run.
Yeah. You know what, Tim? I think I'm the same way. I always buy hefty bags.
Yeah. The other ones, like, they'll like get weird rips in them, and like that's not what you want happening when you're carrying things out.
It's funny. I've heard people refer to you as a hefty man, but I didn't realize that that's where that was coming from.
Yeah, no, that's why they call our show a Hefty Man and Apple Boy.
Tim, let's talk about bread.
Yeah.
That's something else that I actually feel like I steer clear from the generic.
Bread?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. I like a name brand.
You know what
bread.
I buy a lot of lately? This, who is it, like Rock and Roll Mike or something?
He's a reformed criminal.
Yeah, and he makes bread now, but not the way you're thinking, which is laundered money. Killer Mike? Is that his name?
No, that's a rapper, Tom.
Yeah. Who is this Mike? You know what? I gotta go look at who this Mike is. I just bought some of his bread.
Tom, it's somebody's killer bread.
Yeah. Maybe it's just Mike's killer bread?
Go check.
All right.
We both have the internet here.
I have Tim.
I know exactly. We could.
No, I don't have to use the internet. I have the bread.
Okay. All right. Tom is now, he's gotten up from his chair. He's run into the other room at a speed I've never seen him. What do we have here?
His name's Dave.
Dave's Killer Bread.
Dave's Killer Bread.
It's got like all sorts of seeds all over it and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
I got good seed, but let me tell you, they also make the bad seed.
I heard that Dave was a bad seed.
Yeah,
I heard there was
now...
a walkout. No, I heard that like
really?
he might not be as reformed because like
it says 15 years in prison right on the side. That's a tough way to find yourself. You're safe. You made a safe in prison that he stole. It's full of bread.
This picture of him, he's got a mustache, a bulging bicep, a tight-fitting red T-shirt, and he's rocking out on the freaking guitar.
Yeah, he kind of looks like a cool Gallagher.
He does, not like one of the Gallagher brothers.
No.
Or one of the Gallagher brothers, but Gallagher and Gallagher too.
Right, to be clear, there are two sets of Gallagher brothers.
And they both have... have their troubles with each other.
And disagreements between them.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's another thing. I mean, I think these loaves of bread are like $8 at the supermarket. Like, it's so much more expensive, but I don't know. It is just so much better. It tastes better.
I like the Arnold bread, Tom.
Yeah.
Not just because I'm a fan of Jack Arnold. That's the dad from the Wonder Years.
Second reference to him this episode.
But you know the Arnold bread I'm talking
about?
Yeah.
You know, I would almost consider that generic bread, Tim.
Are you an asshole?
I mean, it's like pretty cheap bread.
I will kick your ass, Tom.
You don't have to hand over a lot of leaves for that bread.
Yeah, that's okay. They make it with care.
Do they?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I often make my own bread too, so you know.
How many times have you made your own bread?
Probably 24 times.
Okay, so 24 loaves of bread.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not bad. When's the last time you made it?
Probably about a month ago.
Probably about 3 years ago.
No, I bought this book where Mark Bittman teaches you how to make bread. It's called Bittman Bread. I bought a whole cast iron thing to a specific size, so it's like, I got to make at least a few of these. I made my own starter. It's good. It worked. I know that everybody's like, oh, during the pandemic, everybody had a starter. It's like, I don't know. It's something to do.
Yeah, I mean, that's better than like, oh, during the pandemic, everybody got into online gambling.
Yeah,
It's like, it's fine. It's a nice thing to get
yeah,
into.
don't yell at me for doing something so I didn't lose my fucking mind.
Why did you say that guy's name like I would know who that is?
Mark Bittman?
Yeah.
He's written...
He's a big bread guy.
No, he's a big food guy. You know those big books, How to Cook Everything?
Oh, no. I can imagine the books are pretty big then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does it have a...
He wrote for the New York Times, Tom.
Okay. Does it have like how to cook human beings in there? Does it get into like real sick shit?
No, how to cook for human beings.
Okay. What kind of bread would you... This is like a whole wheat, I guess. Just kind of like... I like seedy bread.
Yeah.
I like seedy women, too.
I know you do. Hey, you interested in a thong?
We'll talk after the show. Tim, let's talk about... We started talking about baguettes. You mentioned them going to France, and then we got... That was 40 minutes ago.
I'm not sure if this is,
True?
Look, when I was in when I was in France, the only time I was ever in Paris, I ate like 15 baguettes in like 3 days. Tom, there's going to be a ton of places for you to get baguettes with butter and cheese on them. Just do it. It's the best
I didn't
thing.
know they do it with cheese too.
Sometimes they put cheese on it. Yeah. And I don't know if it's a stereotype that like only the tourists do that.
Right.
Although I did see some French people, like I did see people walking around clearly like not tourists because they were like, I specifically remember like
and spitting.
Yeah, and like a lady with like kids in like school uniforms coming up from school. But like a lot of people were literally carrying like brown grocery bags with a baguette sticking out of it.
I thought that only happened in movies.
Yeah, no. And I had several meat cutes where we accidentally,
got your baguettes mixed up.
Yeah. No, go for the baguettes. I think a fresh baguette, Tom. Whew. Is that the best bread there is?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Remember when we were in our 20s, we used to drink all night at a bar that was right next to a bread factory?
Yes.
And then sometimes we would go to the door and be like, hey, can we buy some bread from your factory? And it was always very good, but not nearly as good as it smelled. It smelled so good, especially when it was like 4 o'clock in the morning and you were super drunk.
That was the cool thing about being like 24. Because like the bread factory started making bread early in the morning.
Yeah.
But like it also meant that like we had to get in with the bar owners for other reasons, not just for the bread. But like it was only when we like stayed after last call and kept drinking while they like closed up the bar.
Yeah, when the sun started coming up.
Yeah, and they let us do that for some reason. That we'd walk by and like they'd be making the bread. It would smell fantastic. Is that bread factory still open?
I don't know.
Bar's closed.
It's a good question, Tim. But yeah, nothing to undo a night of heavy drinking like eating a loaf of bread before you go to bed.
Honestly, I think that is probably
soaked it all up.
That probably did save one of us from dying at some point.
Right, yeah, saved each of our lives. I forget what kind of bread that even was. Loaves of bread.
Yeah, it was just your standard
loaf type bread,
sourdough bread.
Yeah. All right. Well, that brings us to our next type of bread, sourdough.
Yeah.
Now, was this what you had a starter for?
Exactly.
Because that's when you need a starter, right? It's a yeasty bread. Is that what the deal is?
So you can use, is my understanding. You can just put yeast,
okay,
and flour and water, and a little bit of sugar. right?
Mm-hmm.
And the yeast will go to work because the yeast, they're chewing, they're eating things up and pooping it out. I guess they poop out the gluten, from what I understand.
They poop out bread, for all I know.
Yeah. So sourdough.
No, like gluten is poop. Gluten is poop.
I mean, it's all biology, Tom.
All right, we're all made of stars.
Well, no, exactly, but like I think like the reactions there.
Yeah, it's not like waste. It's just kind of the reaction.
But sourdough is like kind of fermented, so you don't need the yeast, right? So like essentially what you do to make a starter is just put water and flour together for a while and let it ferment.
Okay.
And then like living beings
come and rise.
Exactly. And so like that starter kind of serves as the yeast.
Yeah.
That will then go in, eat up the flour and water and sugar and poop it out. And then you get a lovely sourdough bread.
Huh. So you can just make a starter, because I've always heard that it's like, you've got to like take a bit of somebody else's starter.
That's an easy way to do it, right?
But you don't need to.
You don't need to. It's more time consuming. It's like, you know, it basically has to go bad for a little bit, right?
But not too bad.
Right, exactly. And if you just have one going, then it's already started. You add stuff to that, right? And you have to keep feeding the starter to keep it alive, right?
Yeah, just like a person.
Exactly. Just like that person you have.
Chained up.
Feeding it.
You gotta feed him to keep him alive.
But it has a mildly sour taste because of the lactic acid that's produced.
And now lactic acid is also what our bodies produce.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's like, Tom, you're really focusing on cannibalism here.
No, but I'm just saying, like,
it's tired bread.
Yeah, because I was just thinking about that the other day. I went for like a long bike ride, and on the way back had to go up hills. And I was like, God, my thighs hurt so much. And it was the lactic acid.
Did you come home and Google, why do my thighs hurt? You're like,
no, because I was just thinking about lactic acid. And I was like, why am I feels like I'm making more lactic acid than I normally do. And now I just know I should have opened up a vein, made some blood out of that. Made some bread out of that. Sorry, I misspoke.
What other types do you have on your list? By the way, Tom, we haven't even gotten to my notes yet.
What are your notes? Let's get to your notes.
The first one is banana bread, and you said yes, and then you started screaming your head off about cake. Baguette, all right, we do that. Brioche.
Yeah, brioche I have on here too. That's another.
Do you like
good
a brioche?
I think so.
It's got. Do you know why it's like? What makes it different?
No,
it's got a lot of eggs in it.
Okay,
so it's richer.
It's lighter.
Yeah.
Oh, richer or lighter?
Well, it's like eggs. It's like like you put eggs into it. It's like eggy.
Yeah. Well, I like egg bagels are one of my favorite type of bagels.
Okay, tell you something. Never had an egg bagel.
Really?
Yeah.
And now I'm not talking about egg on a bagel.
Right. I've had that. Probably thousands of times.
Yeah.
How many egg sandwiches do you think you've had in your life?
I don't know, because I haven't had one in a long time.
Oh, I have them pretty frequently.
Yeah. I mean, there is a great type of sandwich.
I remember being in like 5th grade and walking to school and stopping and getting a bacon, egg, and cheese at the deli.
Yeah.
What are you, like 9 in 5th grade?
Yeah.
Should a 9-year-old be eating that?
I kept you fueled. I mean, when you're 9, you're probably also like fucking hungry all the time because you're growing a lot.
Yeah, but I was also like overweight.
But I mean,
probably shouldn't have been eating egg sandwich, right? Like I probably could have been eating like egg whites,
or even just regular eggs, but without the bread
Should
and bacon.
I be one of those weird parents that like is like, oh, you're only eating egg whites and spinach? You know, like when parents make their like
kids healthy.
Yeah, but like healthy in like the weird trends of the day.
Yeah, not in a like, you're going to eat a lot of vegetables.
Yeah, we're not going to give you like a lot of processed food,
stuff.
But it's just like, no, it's egg whites. It's like very specific.
Yeah, you're going on the oatmeal diet, son.
Yeah, and it's a lot of whey powder also. Yeah,
I think you should probably try and make your son like very strong, like as strong as possible.
Not strong enough to overpower me though, Tom.
Strong but still docile to you, so you can sick him on your enemies.
Yeah. No, I don't want him challenging me to like. He's gonna like punch me in the face and take the thong off the wall.
You've got to. I think you've got to convince him. You got to get some kind of like candy that's hard to find.
Okay.
And you've got to convince him that he needs one of those candies every day to live. That he's got, I don't know.
I like that it's got to be hard to find, lest he's like walking down the street today and be like,
yeah.
Tootsie Roll, what?
And it's
available for 5 cents at the bodega?
It's up to you whether you tell him that that's the case because of, something he was born with biologically, or something that you bred into him in a lab.
Right.
that he needs one of these, like the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I understand. Tom, just side note, quick tangent. You're not allowed to see my son anymore.
I've got some candy for him though. All right, brioche. Ciabatta bread.
Ciabatta. I think ciabatta's a little overrated, right?
Really?
It's too hard. It's too chewy.
Oh, I like that. It's hard and chewy. I didn't realize that like ciabatta bread was invented by like Applebee's 10 years ago.
Is
or
that
something.
true?
Yeah, it's not. Maybe not Applebee's, but it is not a like.
Well, why don't you check your notes, Tom?
Old Italian bread. Or because I don't need to check my notes. You've got Wikipedia open right there.
Yeah, it's
when
an
was
Italian
ciabatta?
white bread created in 1982 by a baker in Adria.
Oh, all right, 40 years ago.
It's
still pretty new as far as
potentially
breads are.
younger than me, but definitely not younger than you.
Right.
It was definitely invented in your lifetime.
Yes.
Maybe not in mine.
And probably not too many breads, Tim. You can say you're younger than.
That's true. Except the ones that I make at my home.
Right. I'm talking types of bread.
They're like each one of them is like my own child.
And I think I would consider this close to.
Wait, hold on.
Uh-huh.
A toasted sandwich made from small loaves of ciabatta are known as panini. Outside of Italy. In Italy, I guess they're just called sandwich. I don't know. But I will say, I'm not a big fan of paninis.
Really?
You know what?
Too smashed? Too smushed?
Yeah, it kind of like it's like I like the bread. And I've heard a lot of talk on podcasts lately, like 3 different podcasts about how the Big Mac is flawed because
it's too much bread.
It
not
has
enough
the
meat.
second it has the middle.
Yeah.
I'm just like, that's what makes the Big Mac the Big Mac. That's what I like about it.
Yeah.
So I want to taste my bread. I want the bread to be substantial. A panini is just like, let's smash that bread as thin as possible. Well, then what are we doing bread for, guys? It's killing us. We might as well enjoy it.
I think, I never really thought about this, but it's really only McDonald's that ever got away with that idea of like putting a bun in the middle. Like if you went to a restaurant and you ordered a double hamburger and they put a piece of bread in the middle, you'd probably take it out. You'd be like, I don't need all this.
Yeah.
But I think McDonald's realized, just our double hamburger we can't like charge enough money for because look at it. It still isn't as thick as like one regular hamburger.
People talking crap about the Big Mac. That is still the best fast food sandwich.
It's up there. It's a good sandwich.
What's better, the Whopper? Maybe the Whopper.
I like the Whopper. What's better? The other, his main competitor.
Well, I mean, still, if it's top 2.
Yeah. Well, what about something like a double animal style?
That's true, but you know what?
We don't live it over there.
Yeah, I've had how many Big Macs have I had?
Thousands.
This is the thing. We're all carrying around these phones. We should be quantifying everything now, or my son should be.
We should be carrying around little counters that we can.
It's too late for me to know how many bacon, egg, and cheeses or Big Macs.
It's not too late for your son.
Yeah.
Son, I need you to carry this around with you all the time.
If he has a Big Mac before he's 18, I'll consider myself a failure.
If he has what I consider one of the best foods in the world.
No, the best fast food sandwich.
Which means one of the best foods. Because you can get it so fast. Close to ciabatta, focaccia.
Yeah.
Which I also like.
Focaccia I like as like an appetizer, like dip in
You
some,
like it because it sounds like fakakta.
Yeah, like, this bread is fakakta.
Yeah, that is a good bread to dip in olive oil.
See, I'm always thinking perhaps, or maybe the context which I've been through which I've been evaluating these for, like, thinking about sandwiches. But that's not the only way that you can eat bread.
No.
It's not all about sandwiches.
No, I found a list that actually had like other ways to have bread. Tim, I'll be honest, a lot of these ways were just sandwiches. But they did have, they mentioned dipping in olive oil. They mentioned stuffing, which is bread.
Yeah. Like what, like a calzone?
No, like Thanksgiving stuffing.
Oh, stuffing. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah,
I thought the
bread.
same thing. I was like, oh, yeah, bread like stuffed with something. Yeah, it sounds good. Olive oil.
Yeah. No, I like stuffing.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like... Look, I don't eat meat, but still the fact of like, oh no, it goes inside the carcass, like inside the part that we cut out and don't eat.
Yeah.
So it like soaks up all the weird juices in there. Like, I like the vegetarian stuffing where it's like, we put spices and stuff and cook bread and put broth in it.
Look, Tim, if you're not going to eat something just because it's been in a dead animal's body and that's how it was cooked, dipping in olive oil, I mentioned garlic bread.
Do I love garlic bread?
I forgot, and I'm glad I forgot that I have some Texas toast in my freezer.
Tom, you were walking by the frozen aisle, and you were just like, how often do you buy Texas toast?
No, it happened last weekend because...
you knew your girlfriend was going out of town?
No, she was in town, but we normally do a meal delivery kit, and I don't know, something got screwed up. It got delivered on the wrong day, so it was like, we got to fend for ourselves tonight, and neither of us wanted to make anything, so it's like, all right, let's just get some pasta and some sauce, and we'll just make that. And then she was the one who was like, oh, you know what? While you're there, why don't you get some Texas toast?
Hell yeah.
And that really elevated the whole meal.
Texas toast will always elevate it.
Yeah. It went from like...
it's big. You put stuff on top of it.
It went from just like, we're, just having like spaghetti and sauce because it was easy to like, now it's like I'm at a fine Italian restaurant.
Yeah.
I was shocked. I hadn't had Texas toast in a while.
I haven't
just
had
how
it in a very
delicious
long time.
it was. It must be 90% butter. I don't know, but
we'll buy what I think is the same thing, but like those garlic bread, like the big Italian bread things that come in like the like almost aluminum foil,
right? And then
wrapper.
you put them in the oven.
Them in the oven.
Yeah.
Tom, I'm gonna get one of those on the way home.
Like a real Frenchman.
Yeah.
And then French toast.
I like French toast.
Yeah, it's also a good way to eat bread. It's a way to make bread a meal all by itself.
Tom, have you ever made French toast?
Yeah, I've made French toast.
I don't know. You've never made bread.
Making French toast is a lot easier than making bread.
You ever make it with brioche?
I don't think I've made it with brioche. I've had it with brioche.
Yeah, Tom, here's what I'm going to ask you to do.
Okay.
Go on the internet. Look around at the different French toast recipes. There's some stuff out there that'll blow your freaking mind.
Like, what do you mean?
Making it with brioche.
Okay. So the thing you just told me.
And some of like, you put cinnamon in the eggs.
And I was going to say, Tim, is it just going to be put cinnamon on it too?
No, in the eggs.
Okay.
Listen to me.
Why would that matter that much?
Just, Tom, make your own French toast.
Okay.
Don't rely on everybody else to do everything for you.
I don't know. Anytime I've
King of England.
Oh, anytime I've bought French toast somewhere, it's been good. I've never been like, oh, I should have made this myself.
I know, but if you make it yourself, Tom, you have the satisfaction of a job well done. And you don't know what that's like.
If you like the show, you can find out more at tcgte.com. You can check out our Patreon, patreon.com/complete guide. This week, we're wrapping up Heat 2.
Jumped or pushed.
That's not a line from, what movie is that from? The
Righteous Kill?
Righteous Kill, starring Pacino and De Niro.
Yeah, Heat.
No. Heat.
Yeah, the sequel to Heat, Righteous Kill.
They wish. But yeah, Heat 2, we're wrapping it up this week. You get that and all the old episodes too. Hear what we thought about Heat 2. Maybe the best book ever written.
Maybe.
But you'll have to pony up 5 leaves to find out. Patreon.com/complete guide. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, Discord. It's all at tcgt.com. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Tom Reynolds.
Follow me at your pal Tim.
Tim, do you consider, here's some more esoteric types of bread. Bagels.
It's esoteric?
Because, you don't think about it, but then you're like, oh, yeah, I guess a bagel's just bread, huh?
Of course it is.
Yeah.
I think of bagels before cake when I think of bread.
Yeah, well, that's fair.
Because one of them's bread and one of them is cake.
Is it just because, we grew up on Long Island that, we're big bagel boys?
No, I think everybody's a bagel boy.
Yeah. No, I mean, places where they don't have good bagels, I think people just don't really... Not that they've never had them.
They have fine bagels everywhere, though. I think we had to
get bagels.
What's that?
I've had bad bagels.
Yeah, I've had bad bagels, too, but it's not like you can only get good bagels in New York.
Yeah. You can also get them in Montreal, but they're different.
Yeah, those are good. Are those better than New York bagels?
Probably. I don't think so, but I do like them a lot.
Yeah. But it's the water. But you can get 90% to a New York bagel in freaking Oregon. Who cares?
Yeah, you can just put some sewer water in there.
Yeah.
Make
just
it real
piss
authentic.
on the water a little bit. Just piss on the dough a little bit. New York it up.
English muffins. Tim will be in England by the time people are hearing this. Are we going to buy some muffins?
I mean, Tom, can I tell you a clickbait article that I read?
Okay.
He was like, you've been splitting your English muffins all wrong.
Is it because you're supposed to use a fork?
Yeah, of course.
They have that
it
on
says
the...
fork split on it.
It
and
has it on the package, you
when
morons.
you use a knife, you don't get all the nooks and crannies. Yeah, duh, you have to pull it apart.
Yeah. I also think it doesn't make that big of a difference.
Yeah, but for somebody to tell me oh, this is going to blow your mind. You've been doing this wrong. Nah. No, I've been doing it right. Because I read the fucking instructions.
I read the instructions of everything I buy, every time I buy it, even if it's something I've bought 1,000,000 times.
I actually do.
We have, and we didn't even get into some non-American breads, such as naan.
Ooh, I love naan. Every time we get Indian food, Tom, I order 5 times as much naan as we need.
And they call you up and they're like, sir, too much
you've
naan.
made a mistake again. We don't even have this much naan on hand. I say, make it.
Matzo?
Not a big fan.
Yeah.
You know what?
Needs salt.
There's no salt?
Yeah, I don't think there's any salt on it.
It's unleavened.
Yeah. Tortillas?
Yep, into it.
That's
Tom, you ever make your own tortillas?
No, I've never made my own tortillas. Have you?
Yeah.
No, you haven't.
Yeah, I got a tortilla press. You should see how many corn tortillas I've made.
Corn tortillas? I'm talking flour, baby. I'm talking the real stuff.
I mean, who's saying real? I've made flour tortillas too. I'm just bad at it.
Tortillas are good, and another thing that I don't normally think of as bread, but they're good. Soda bread, we talked about. I like soda bread a lot. Soda bread's probably the only Irish food I like, aside from beer. What?
You're not supposed to say that. You like whiskey.
Oh, and I like whiskey too. But everything else is just boiled garbage.
Yeah. They got Texas toast in Ireland?
Yeah, but they call it probably like Killarney toast or something like that.
Right. Yeah. So you like Killarney toast too?
Yeah. Hey, let's hear for bread.
3 cheers for bread. Hip, hip, hooray. Hip, hip, hooray. Hip, hip.
Any final thoughts about bread before we wrap this up?
I like it. I think we're going to need to do a bread part 2.
Okay. Well,
someday maybe.
Yeah, probably not next week, but who knows? Maybe next week.
See you next week. Maybe Tom won't see you next week.
That was a HeadGum podcast.